everybody, welcome back to Next Play Records. I'm Andy, and I have a video today that is going to discuss the Blue Note, Tone Poets, and Classic Vinyl series releases that are coming out in 2022. I'm not going to go through the whole list. You can search their website and find those announcements with the dates, and I'm hoping that they're able to stick to those estimated dates. I know that shipping and production times have always been pretty solid when they come up with an exact date, although they've had to push back a number of them here in the last year. So I'm hoping that these dates are set. And what I've done today is gone through the list and brought up the definites that I'm going to get and just kind of want to talk about those, maybe get y'all excited about them. I really like the Tone Poet line that's coming out this year as much as last year. So let's go ahead and go through them. I'm going to pop up the record when I'm talking about it, so you can get a visual of the cover and maybe see some extra details I may not mention for each one. So the first ones that are out now that I didn't pre-order, I haven't bought yet. One of them is Kenny Cox. It's a classic vinyl series, Kenny Cox and the Contemporary Jazz Quartet. I kind of overlooked it because I had not heard of either one of those, the Contemporary Jazz Quartet or Kenny Cox. So I didn't even review it before. I just knew I wasn't going to get it over as a pre-order or during Christmas and all that. But after listening to it a couple of times, it's pretty good. It's an option. I may get it. It's post-bop, has some good styling to it, and great, enjoyable music. So that's a possibility, not a definite for me. A definite for me that I've already pre-ordered, supposed to deliver, I think, next Friday, is Jackie McLean's Destination Out, which is a post-bop killer, great album. It was done by Music Matters, so I love to see those Music Matters titles that are so good that Joe Harley had a part in producing back then, getting added to this classic, getting added to the classic vinyl series, because Joe Harley has said he will not do them again in his Tone Poet, but the classic vinyl, which is separate from Joe Harley, will do some of them. And there's one more on this list that we will talk about. But yeah, Jackie McLean, Destination Out, I will be getting. Great albums. Got Gretchen Marker on the trombone, Hutcherson on the vibes, Roy Haynes on the drums. So it'd be a very good post-bop session from 1963. The next one's one of them I'm the most excited about, is another former Music Matters release, now classic vinyl. Joe Henderson, Inner Urge, great album. 3 of his best songs in his Blue Note discography are on this one. I cannot wait. It's a post-bop modal jazz killer, and it has Elvin Jones on the drums, McCoy Tyner on the piano, Bob Crenshaw on the bass, obviously Joe Henderson on the tenor sax, which he's one of the best at. So that's a 1964 session. I think it originally released maybe in 1965, but recorded in 64. And that is one I cannot wait for. That's coming in February. Also in February is Lee Morgan's release from 1968, Carumba. And I'm borderline on that. It's not one of Lee Morgan's best albums. It is, late 60s, trying to stick to the hard bop, post-bop sound. I think he's got a little bit of Latin-infused jazz in there too. It's a good album, but it's not something that I'm crazy about. I do love Lee Morgan and try to get a lot of his stuff, but I'm not certain yet if I'm going to get that one. So let's move on to the Tone Poets. So really the classic vinyl only gave us, I think, the first quarter of releases, and those two, Jackie McLean, Destination Out, and Joe Henderson, Inner Urge, are definites for me. Let's move on to the Tone Poets. Tone Poets in February, you've got Stanley Turrentine's Rough and Tumble, which is 90% I'm going to get. I like it. It's got a big range of players on the session. You've got everybody from Spalding on there on the saxophone. You've got Pepper Adams, Grant Green, McCoy Tyner, Blue Mitchell. So nice lineup, good soul jazz / post-bop with some of those players, I'm sure. And I've reviewed it. I like it, and I probably will get that one. Tone Poets are just great quality for the money. They have raised the price. It looks like all the pre-orders on this one is $38 and change. So they've gone up a little bit. Sometimes on Amazon though, you can find them for the discount. So I may not pre-order that one, but it's one I definitely want to get. In March, we've got Sunny Red, Out of the Blue. I have one Sunny Red in my collection, so I'd like to get that. He's really good on the alto sax. Paul Chambers. You also have Cobb on the drums on that one, and Wynton Kelly on the piano. So that's a great session. I'm definitely going to get that one. Cool, simple cover, but good one. Sunny Red, Out of the Blue is one I'm going to definitely get. That same month in March on Tone Poet, you've got Grant Green's Latin Bit. It's an interesting title. I like some of the Latin jazz, but I don't know if I want a whole album full of it. So that one I'm considering. It's not a definite, but it is a pretty good lineup. Latin jazz, 1963, Grant Green. Pretty cool cover, as you can see there. But let's move on to April. April is two definites, I believe, in my opinion. You have Hank Mobley coming out, Curtain Call, with Sonny Clark, Art Taylor, and Kenny Dorham with Mobley. That's a definite. It's one I'm most excited about. One of the most I'm excited about, and that's Hank Mobley, Curtain Call, in April. That's a 1957 session. So it's going to be pretty standard hard bop, but I'm sure it's some fiery solos and things like that. It hasn't been on vinyl much at all. First released, I think, was in the 80s or 90s in CD. So it's a good session that's going to come out on good quality vinyl for the first time, I believe. Also in April, Jackie McLean again, Tipping the Scales. And I'm really interested in this one because I love the cover that they're coming up with. But I also love the fact that Art Taylor and Sonny Clark are on that with him. Those sounds, you know, Jackie McLean has that one-of-a-kind alto sound where he may sound like he's a little bit sharp with his playing, but I believe with Sonny Clark and Art Taylor, it's going to round out his sound pretty well. And that's coming out in April also. And then in June, July, and August, you have some scorchers for the summer. No doubters, and let's get into those. In June, I'm skipping May because there's the two of those I'm probably not going to get. So let's go into June. We got Kenny Burrell, self-titled Kenny Burrell. It's got the Andy Warhol drawing on the front, white cover, as you can see here. 1956 session with Bobby Timmons, Paul Chambers, Kenny Dorham. It's going to be great. That's a no-doubter. That's one, if you try to find a OG or early reissue, hundreds of dollars. So I love it when the Tone Poets come out with those type of albums, similar to Classic Vinyl coming out with the Herbie Hancock here. I'm sorry, Herbie Nichols here, 2 10-inches that are hard to find for $25. I mean, mastered by Kevin Gray, all analog. Can't beat it. So you can't beat the Tone Poets that come out too with those early Kenny Burrell like that it's really tough to find the good quality pressings and masterings of the OGs or early reissues. So that's a no-doubter. Also in June, Grant Green, Feeling the Spirit. A lot of gospel-centered religious songs there that he plays through. Laid-back album, very moody, perfect for the song titles and the record itself. So Grant Green, Feeling the Spirit from 1963 is a Grant Green. It has Herbie Hancock playing on the piano with him too. So Herbie Hancock's great in all styles. I'm interested to hear that on vinyl with Herbie Hancock and Grant Green playing Feeling the Spirit. So that's a no-doubter. Let's move on to July. You have Harold Vick. Not a lot of Blue Note sessions for him. Stepping out. He's got Grant Green on the guitar with him. John Patton on the organ. Blue Mitchell on the trumpet. And Vick is the saxophone player. And that's going to be a no-doubter as well. Hard to find. Great type of release for Tone Poet. Can't get a lot of good copies of it. So Harold Vick stepping out. Looking forward to it. Next one for that month in June is Bobby Hutcherson's Stick Up. I'd say that one's probably my second or third most anticipated. I cannot wait for that one. It has Joe Henderson, McCoy Tyner on there with Bobby Hutcherson. And again, not a lot of good reissues of that. Very high dollar OG to find. And cool cover, as you can see also that I popped up there. So Bobby Hutcherson's Stick Up is a great one in July. in August, two good ones too. You have Chet Baker and Art Pepper. Picture of Heath is what they're calling it. I think it was originally released as Playboys with the cover that we've probably all seen. That I guess they redid it with the different cover, maybe mixed up the songs a little bit, but Tone Poet is doing it as Picture of Heath. A lot of songs composed by Jimmy Heath, the saxophone player, are on there, with Chet Baker on the trumpet, Art Pepper on the saxophone. So great one. And a lot of the times when Tone Poet puts out the non-Blue Note label, say Chet Baker Sings, Katanga, those albums gain value pretty quickly because they're hard to come by in that quality. So Chet Baker and Art Pepper, Picture of Heath, is probably going to be a no-doubter. Same month in August, 1966 release of Blue Mitchell's Bring It On Home. I'm going to grab that one. I don't have any Blue Mitchell-led albums, so I'm going to grab that. You can look on the front right there. Cool cover, good lineup, and very exciting album to add to your collection. So those are the main high points, in my opinion, of the Blue Note reissues, audiophile reissues this year with Tone Poets and with Classic Vinyl Series. Again, some of the ones I'm most excited about: Harold Vick Stepping Out, Bobby Hutcherson's Stick Up, Joe Henderson Inner Urge, Hank Mobley's Curtain Call. I mean, tons of good ones to be excited. Save up your money, get those pre-orders in, find them at your local record store or online. And until next time, keep spinning that next play.